So now he's working with Avera Health. He's a military and veteran liaison officer there. So Avera is actually a massive healthcare and hospital network with over 10,000 employees over 5 different states. They're based in South Dakota, and Freddy helps veterans to bridge the gap between their military experience and working in the civilian healthcare sector. So, Freddy, feel free to take it away.
All right, thank you. And good morning. I will be hyped up and pumped up. That's my personality, so this will not be boring. I would recommend you get off of mute and ask me a question whenever it comes up. So don't wait, because I'll go on tangents, and if it doesn't apply to you and you want some real answers from somebody who's been retired for about almost 2 years, then ask, because this is your opportunity to do that. Background. So, United States Marine Corps, obviously, kind of on the background there. 21 years. I started off in the infantry, did my 8 years in that. Then they told me how to do a B billet, and then I became a recruiter. I was very successful in that, kind of bounced out. Funny story, Clay. I was stationed in Portland, Oregon. And so I lived in Camas, Washington. So I was tracking that story timeline. And Tacoma is not a good place to live at all, even if it has Chick-fil-A's. So after that, they dangled another promotion in front of me and says, you got to go somewhere else again. And I was like, oh, it's about time for me to retire. And then my wife said, let's move to South Dakota. So no, I'm not from here. I'm born and raised in California, in Sacramento. And I'm not in the medical background, as my history just said. So how did I get here? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It's sheer luck and persistence. So the persistence part is, navigating resumes. I did not do well. Navigating the proper usage of LinkedIn. I did not do well. And I'll get into what my mistakes were, and hopefully you don't make the same ones. And not leveraging key tools to my success. Luckily, I listened to my beautiful wife, who at 1 in the morning, when I told her I couldn't get a job after applying for 350 jobs, she said, go on Indeed and do exactly this. And I did, and I found the job. Luckily, my boss was a 3-star general, and he wrote the job description. So he's like, looking for an E7 and above. I'm like, who wrote this? I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I'm like, oh, that's me. So I applied, and I got the job, as you can see. Um, Man, there's so much I want to like dump on all of you with all the things I've learned in the last 2 years, but I'm going to try to go in systematic order of my exiting. So retirement was fun. I was excited. Job searching was brutal. First mistake was not leveraging my resume. The key mistake is I was like, oh, I'm just going to put my whole history down and I'm going to get a job. And I learned quickly that you need to actually articulate for the role itself. Even though in the military, especially being a master sergeant, you do all the roles, HR and everything. So I learned to, navigate the resume to specifically find roles and then articulate how I've done that in my past and stayed specific to the role itself and the job in question. I also leveraged resume builders and a few avenues like that because there are some successful ones out there. I actually think Seven Eagle has a great platform one, if I remember correctly. Um, so so that was first mistake and correction I made. And then LinkedIn. I thought LinkedIn was like Facebook, where you just add a bunch of people and you grow your numbers and it will magically make something happen for you. Or you just go on the apply button on LinkedIn and just apply for jobs and it's going to generate what you want. Those I was sadly and rudely awakened to that's not how that works, and that's not how you leverage the platform. I learned quickly that the LinkedIn is an ability to connect and actually start a conversation like you would anybody else out in the world. The cool thing is if you leverage it correctly, you can actually tap into where they're at personally, for the job you're looking for. So you're not just creating a fake environment in a conference room where you're already asking for a job. I had the ability to actually build a relationship with people and then leverage that. I'm gonna be honest. The other thing that helped me be successful in transition was American corporate partners. I don't know if you've been introduced to that yet, but it was a mentorship program, and basically it's free, and they link you up with somebody within the job career field that you potentially might want to work out. So I had this crazy idea I was going to go work at Microsoft and create video games. And so they linked up my mentor from Microsoft, and his name was Jonathan Tennis, and we became really, really good friends. And it was less about getting a job at Microsoft, but like navigating the mental and emotional stressors of exiting. So that brings to the next topic is you all won't feel it now, but when you exit, you're going to have, I like to call it, two emotional roller coaster events. The first one's going to be light. You're not going to get all the phone calls that you used to get to or the reports that you're used to seeing, and it feels like you're kind of left alone. And you'll kind of push that to the side because you're job hunting and you're trying to get everything set up for the family, and you got all your retirement stuff you got to do, and you're trying to get your disability claim money. You know what I mean? Um, but then you're going to have a hard one. And that's when you want to make sure that you have a good point of contact outside of active duty. You want that person to be in the same realm you are, because they're going to understand and you're going to be able to have someone to vent to. So, and luckily Jonathan Tennis was mine. So yeah, so those are, I mean, it was dark. I mean, transitioning's rough. Like you feel like you're cut off from everybody. And then you realize, like, I remember being in and people retiring and me not reaching out. It's because I was still stuck on the mission. You know what I mean? So, it's not anything personal. It's just the way our lives take us, and we're just on a different chapter than they are. All right. So what do I do? Because I got a big fancy title and people don't have any idea what I do. And I spend half my day explaining it to even my own employees or the employees I work with. So I work in 3 pillars. So the first pillar is patient care. So as simple as going to a patient's room and listening to Vietnam and Korean War stories on hours on end, which is awesome. It gets very complicated because then I get into the mix of why is billing not working? Why does the VA not give my authorization? So I became very quickly a subject matter expert on the hospital procedures and policies to include the VA procedures and policies. And then my second pillar would be employment. So I'm not a recruiter. I talk like one, I probably act like one half the time, but I am not a recruiter. But what I do is have a working relationship with the recruitment team here. Created policies and I like to think direct avenues to employment. So what you'll find is a lot of recruiters want to still do the resume and put you through the thing, and there potentially might be a job, might not be a job. I was like, hey, for my veterans, I want a direct route. So if you got a job opening, I want them to sit in front of you and do an interview. Or I have a skill bridge program where if you're in the state, you can come into the hospital and do a shadow program. So basically you say, Freddie, I have no idea what I want to do, but I want to get exposed to everything that the hospital offers so I can figure it out. I'm like, okay, say less. And then I put you on a journey and I put you in different departments, radiology, pharmacy. I put you everywhere and you get a little feel for potentially what you may or may not want to do. So I help devise programs like that to include direct communications to recruitment. So if somebody like Jordan Webster I see on here, Jordan's like, I want a job. I like this specific job. I know I'm qualified. Freddie, look at my resume. Help me out. I'm like, okay, boom. I send your stuff right over to the recruiter, have you apply on the thing. I probably do some interview prep with you. And that's it. My hands are tied from that point, right? The recruiters and take over from there. So my third pillar is community outreach. So just like this event here, I was reached out and said, hey, Freddie, can you come present? And I did. To include, basically, I know every nonprofit within the state of South Dakota, and basically most of them in Minnesota at this point, Iowa, Nebraska, and North Dakota. So just basically I become a massive resource for every veteran that walks in through this hospital or that gets in contact with me. So long story short, I'm a connector. That's all I do. I don't try to pretend I'm a subject matter expert of anything because I'm not. I just like connecting veterans and supporting them and getting them where they need to be. So I'm going to take a quick pause right there. I got cotton mouth, so I'm going to drink water. Do I have any questions on the stuff I brought up so far?
Yeah, guys normally do the hand raising thing, but as directed, just jump in if you have any questions.
Jump in. Oh God, you guys are talking a bunch. Oh, I love it.
Well,
Okay.
I got you. I got you.
I see a few coming off mute. Here we go. Here we go.
So, so you said you moved from Washington to South Dakota. What
Yeah.
is what is your favorite spot about? Like, what's your favorite part about being South Dakota right now?
Okay. Oh man, so here's the thing. You all know I'm not from here. I'm from Cali. You know, I'll tell you this: you gotta love the cold because it's cold. But the thing I love the most is they're the nicest people I've ever met. I've been to 36 different countries and islands. I've been all over the United States. These are the nicest people you ever met. They're so nice. When I got here, I thought it was fake for the longest time. And, you know, my guard was up and stuff like that. And I just realized that they're genuinely just nice people. And to be honest, it's okay. So here's my recommendation for all of you: take all this nonsense and all these, you know, my job title and I'm here for Avera. Like, if you could do anything to like make your life happy for once, find a hobby. I just got into duck hunting and pheasant hunting. So this is the world's best pheasant hunting is in South Dakota. Uh, I have so many hobbies now. I golf like crazy. I'm finally able to live my life, and I love South Dakota. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. I do miss all the trees from Washington. Like if I could like take all the trees and bring them with me, I would definitely do that. So hopefully that answers your question with some extra stuff. You're welcome.
So, like, yeah, being like one of the 10 families out in South Dakota, like, pretty has to be pretty close in the community.
Yeah. So funny thing is, I thought the same thing. Um, their city, so their Sioux Falls, their main city would be like Vancouver, Washington, or Portland. So to be honest, I got everything. There isn't like this isn't just all farm fields, even though you feel like that, but there's a major city. It's up and coming. I think it's one of the top 10 fast growing cities right now. So yeah, yeah, I love it here. It's wonderful. And I mean, you take it with a grain of salt. So yeah, I'm not Virginia. I'm not Washington. I'm not Portland. Yeah, but my housings don't cost what you cost. My gas was $2.65 for the premium stuff that I put in my BMW today. My brand new house cost you 400 and something thousand on a lake. You know what I mean? Cost of living. My grocery bills is 63% less than it was on the West Coast.
Yeah, gas is still pretty bad here. It's like almost $4 coastal. You go into the mountains, it's like I think nine or it's like I think 12. It got like really bad up there because I was driving like the box trucks back and forth between Yakima. I parked for a bit. I was like, bro, gas here is $12 a gallon. I'm like, dude, there's no way.
It's crazy. Yeah. To be honest, it's like Stockholm syndrome. Like you're just getting used to getting beat up on the West Coast and don't know any different. And then I came out to the Midwest and I'm like, oh, there's something else. There's options. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. So
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast. What I like about over here is like there's no ticks, no mosquitoes, not too hot, not too cold. It's like just right. That's what I like about Washington. Even though I am moving out of Washington, that is what I like about it.
yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, I loved Washington. I just cost of living, all that stuff played into effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, it adds up. I get it.
yeah. All right, so back on to my journey, and I did see somebody else's hand raised, and then I don't see it anymore. Does that person still have a question?
Yeah, I think they might have been the person who said in the text that they had a teams meeting. I'm not 100% sure though. If there was somebody else that had a question, just pipe up.
Okay. I mean, you all should ask me. What do you want to know? What do you? I mean, I've literally it's fresh off the boat for me out of retirement. I transitioned into this, you know, into this role, and I'm very passionate about it. To be honest, I'm one of the lucky ones, if I'm being honest with you, because I get my bucket filled every single day by helping veterans. Like I don't even think this is a job. Like I show up, help veterans, and I walk away. I don't. There's nothing to carry with me after work. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's not going to be the same for all of you. You know what I mean? You're going to be in some really corporate environments. You know what I mean? And some of you are going to get stuck. My recommendation on the stuck part is the Chamber of Commerce. I didn't understand the abilities and the connections that you can get the Chamber of Commerce. So if you already know where you're living and they got a Chamber of Commerce, I would get connected immediately. I would also become a member. I have gotten more job opportunities now that I've connected with the Chamber of Commerce than I ever did when I was looking and searching prior to leaving. So if I could, I mean, that's a huge one. And then just leveraging your experience. So here you need to understand, I sit there, I sit with a bunch of civilians all the time, and they have no understanding or connection of what you've done or how to process and perceive that within the realm they're used to. So you're going to have to learn to talk the language. You're gonna have to put yourself in environments to hear civilian corporate language lingo and then articulate your experience and service into that lingo. So if you start saying, well, me and my squad, we tactfully, I'm like, oh, they already shut off. They don't hear any of that. So my direct reports, the 15 of them that were under my charge, evaluation, see, like that language they understand. They're like, oh, you had 15 direct reports? Yes, I did. And then I manage them and work them and blah, 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 blah. But if you're not speaking the language, you get shut off pretty quickly. Interview mistakes that I've seen on my side of the house, not asking questions. For Avera, I'll speak on Avera's behalf because that's all I've really seen. They actually encourage and want questions because they want an investment in the conversation. And I'm going to be honest with you, you all should be doing it. This is your opportunity. You're not obligated by contract to work for anybody now. So you should ask leadership and management questions of who you want to work for and invest a big portion of your life moving forward. So you should have those questions ready. Like if I was interviewing for Val and Val was said, hey, what kind of questions you got? I'm like, well, what's your leadership philosophy? You know, that's something military is so used to saying, but civilians aren't. And if they're not ready to articulate that, and you got to break it down, like, well, how do you lead? What do you strive for when you want your direct reports? You want to gauge and ask somebody what their leadership and management styles are because you're going to be working for that person. And that's your opportunity you can ask. And if Val's like, I want you to work 24 hours and never go home. Well, I've done that rodeo. Thank you for your business. You know what I mean? So, yeah, interview. You got to ask questions. You got to find out if this is an employer you want to invest your time and energy into. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? I told you about ACP America. Oh, Tyrone Hewitt. On LinkedIn, I will remind myself to put it in the message chat before I exit. Tyrone Hewitt. This gentleman is a veteran who's retired from the Navy. He's been out for a while now. But I guarantee you, he's the most leading person on VA benefits, VA disability stuff, and everything you need to know when retiring or exiting service. He also has a checklist that he sent out that I copied and pasted, and I sent it to every veteran upon exiting. It comes with mile markers on it. So like 180 days, 120 days, 90 days, 30 days after exiting service. And they have all the links of like dental and everything you need to get done. I always found it very discouraging when I did TAPS and then they focused on resumes and it wasn't even good. And then I was like, okay, so all the things you just dumped on me, like where's a checklist? Like I'm a checklist kind of a person. And so Tyrone Hewitt actually designed that and created that. And he keeps me up to date on all the VA changes, VA benefit changes. All of you should be doing your disability if you're 180 days close to it. Thanks, Val.
So double check and make sure that's the right one. I
it
did
is
a quick search.
Nope, it is. I just checked it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
So yeah. So use and abuse resources. There's plenty of people that's gone out and done this before you and are being successful. So what other questions we got? Come on, interact with me. You got
I got you. So, you mentioned the transition from Washington to South Dakota. Regarding opportunities, was there, I guess, a bleed over or a difficulty with like the lower density population? Like, was it a higher competitive market? Were the opportunities lesser? Was there more stringent requirements?
I got you. So you think if you stay in a larger city, there's more opportunities there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So don't quote me on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I don't know something, I don't know something. Like I would fairly say if you're in the larger density places, there might be more opportunity, but there's also a lot more people vying for those opportunities. That's kind of how I see it. Now me being here in South Dakota, I wish I could convince every single one of you to move here, and I would help all of you get jobs and not have any issues with finding you jobs. So I see, it drives me nuts, and I hope you all are successful. But there's tons of cybersecurity titles in your names, and there are only a certain amount of cybersecurity jobs in the United States, and they need a specific level of experience for you to do them. I'll give you an example. My buddy of mine is the director of cybersecurity for Garmin. And he got that job, but he's been in that realm for a long time. Dark, DARC, is going to be Sioux Falls' leading cybersecurity company. We also have the leading cybersecurity school in the state. So to be honest, I feel like there's been more opportunities in the smaller. I mean, how many of you even thought about South Dakota? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even a thought. And there's just plenty of opportunities here that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people don't have your backgrounds. Don't get lost. Like your leadership and management. I have people who've been in leadership and management skills at the hospital for 30 years and basically doesn't even know how to do an evaluation. You know what I mean? Like 30 years and you're a VP and you don't know how to do an evaluation. So, you know what I mean? Like you got to leverage those things. And I'm going to be honest, unless you guys are like in states where family's there or you feel like you're tied down, I would look at options in different states. You know what I mean? Here's my other thing. I never listened to anybody when I exited. I'm kind of mad at myself. Take a vacation. Oh, you earned it. Go on 30-day vacation. Like go travel the world. Go to the one place you never got an opportunity to go because they wouldn't approve your damn vacation. You know what I mean? Like go travel or like use the opportunity to bounce a few different states with the family and be like, oh, what do you think of Georgia? Oh, what do you think of this place? You know what I mean? Like go on vacation. You earned it. Like enjoy it. But yeah, so like I think you have more opportunities. I can only speak for South Dakota. I think there's a ton here, and we're just growing massively, rapidly. What other questions we got? Oh, I hope I answered your question.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. What other questions we got? Oh, you guys are brutal.
I'll go again. Let's get it.
So get it.
Yeah. So you mentioned the resources and the Chamber of Commerce and cutting out lingo. Regarding like the transition period of like being institutionalized, what was that process like for you? And when did you, if you have, when did you realize that, okay, now this is what it's like to be a civilian?
I'm not there yet. I just grew this beard out a month ago. As you can see in my picture on that, that slideshow in the beginning, I was still cut my hair once a week. I was still shaving every single day. I mean, I literally started this beard journey like a month ago. I swore to myself I was never going to do it. I mean, look how long my hair is. Look at that. I've never had long hair in my entire life. I don't know. It's hard. It's not like a switch that gets turned on and off. I think there are things that you're going to carry with you forever. Like I still say like leadership or principles and traits like know yourself and seek self-improvement. I say Yeah, I say these in meetings. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think stuff ever goes away. I just think learning to adapt to your audience so you can get the success you need is what you got to do. I'm not saying change your whole persona or your being. I'm just saying keep the good stuff and learn to communicate effectively with the audience that is presented in front of you. You
Thank
know what
you.
I mean?
Yeah, because I still keep catching myself being like tracking or good to go. And I'm like, all right, cut it out, cut it out.
I I mean, to be honest, I think it's hilarious because my boss is a 3-star general. I'm go, Roger that, sir.
Yeah.
He goes, Freddy. I was like, sorry, Ron. So
Thank you.
yeah. What else we got? What else you want to know? What can I help you? What are you running into? What are gaps? What are you stressed out about? Everybody's just happy go lucky, huh? Go for it.
I have a question.
T-Pain.
Like, did you say like you work in a Microsoft? Is it like a gaming something like that or no?
Yeah. So I actually had a friend. She was a Marine, got retired before me, and she was in gaming. She was a producer. Super successful, won all type of kinds of awards. I mean, I'm very proud of her. I think she started her own studio. And you know, when you talk to one specific friend who you look up to, I'm like, I can do that. I can produce video games, not having any technical background, not having any type of producing. Like, you know, you run out like you're Superman. And I had a rude awakening, especially for Microsoft, not speaking the articulate lingo that they're looking for, and they want experience right up front. And think of Microsoft's hiring process as trying to get an appointment at the VA. They have so much red tape. They don't. They. It's not a fluid process. It's just hard, and it's really about who you know, not what you know. And so if that's a realm you want to get into, you need to leverage your LinkedIn account. One, I would probably have it. And I'm not telling you to do this, but I'd probably have it paid professionally done to have it done right. And then number two, you've got to be ready to have LinkedIn conversations and connect on LinkedIn. Microsoft users definitely use LinkedIn, and they definitely use it as an opportunity to screen you out. So if you don't do it up front, they're going to not entertain you after that. And it's hard because you've got to start a relationship immediately without sounding so, hey, I'm looking for a job. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be authentic. You got to be real. I I think the thing I learned when I was pursuing the career is, it was a missed opportunity on my part, is training. They have so many free training platforms and training certs. If they don't see an effort on you to obtain their certs and to show that you're trying to elevate yourself and to get into their realm, they're going to ignore you, just like I got ignored. Like, some of you might be good. Like, I'm not from a technical background in the military, especially anything that has to do with computers. But even then, they're going to want to see you elevating yourself and pursuing excellence within their platform.
Makes
Does
sense.
that does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the VE connection, I have a connection with Microsoft. They put me in the like I have to work in the California, so that is not the part I'm choosing. I'm choosing the New York City. So that is like my and them. So they said if you want to join, we have webcam and but you have to the one you described, yeah, you have to do a lot of stuff and then like study, like in the June Scavenge program, and then they will look at your progress and then they will hire you like intend to the like permanent position. Yeah.
Yep. They have a lot of those actually.
Nice.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really nervous about telling vets. Like, I want you to follow your passion. I want you to be successful. So if that's the route you want to go, I'll be your biggest fan and your biggest cheerleader. I promise. Well, with tech companies that I've seen lately, like Amazon just announced 16,000 layoffs. Microsoft just did a ton of layoffs. I feel like in the tech industry, it's just like always this. And I don't know. I need more stability. You know what I mean? I got bills to pay. I got kids. I got a bougie wife. You know what I mean? She wants Louis Vuitton
I
purse.
think I think that one part of the capitalism is working like somehow like people like investing the money, so people get out like they get the benefit they get out, so the company cannot afford people anymore, and then, like that's why they have to lay off. They cannot afford the people to the in the debt or like negative budget or something like that.
Now, actually, you bring up a good point, and I just remember this. Don't be afraid to do it on your own. There are federal grants that allow you to start programs that you want to pursue. I'm not exactly sure what realm you want to go into, but there's a free grant to start a video game producing company. There's grants for God, there's all kinds of IT grants, and there's also federal grants that you can tap into. I wouldn't be afraid to look into those, and maybe potentially if you've got a great idea or there's something you specifically want to pursue that you feel confident in, get a grant and start your own company. Like,
Yes.
you know, I mean, don't feel like you're boxed in and you got to go work for Microsoft. Some of you are so dang smart, like you can do it on your own. Like, have you? You just did military service. That's 1% of the population, and I'm telling you right now, based on my experience, there's not a lot of people that can do it. So if you can do this, you can start and run a business. You're just going to have to put the same amount of effort and energy that you would do in your military career into running a business.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, Freddie, you actually brought up something we were talking about. Oh, Ashley, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
So you work in the health industry. Are you guys hiring?
You can call me right after this, and I will get you right who you need to talk to. So yes.
Okay. Sounds great.
What do you do in health insurance, health services?
I was a medical technician in the Air
Oh
Force.
gosh, even better. Yes. Here, you know, I'll just give you my cell phone number, right? Meow.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah. Hey, that's how I do. Like, I'm not here to play games. I'm here to just make stuff happen.
Hey, look, I'm looking for a job right now. I'm interviewing right now, so.
I try to be the most authentic person on this dang video call, and I'm trying to get you all to know that I'm here to help. Like, ask me.
I appreciate it, and that's why I asked directly, are you hiring?
Yeah, we are. Like, nobody's business.
Thank you. I'm writing it down right now. Thank you.
And you all can have my cell phone numbers. So if you want it or have questions, I'm not a stranger. I'm not too good for anybody. I'm just a guy enjoying his life hunting. By the way, fun fact, I just spent $10,000 on a German Shorthair Pointer hunting dog. And mind you, I just started hunting this year. So
Freddie, I wanted to go back to my question because, well, not my question, but your statement about LinkedIn and LinkedIn messaging, because we were going back and forth about this, working through some in the cohort about LinkedIn messaging. The one thing I always recommend is short and sweet and to the point, economy of words. Mm-hmm. When you're doing that messaging, do you recommend that, or do you recommend, you know, kind of being a little bit more targeted? What's your thought process on that?
I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, it's always a gamble with the person. So here's what I would tell you. Don't go for a manager. Don't go for a supervisor. Don't go with anybody with a higher title. Try to find the person that does the job. That's what I would say. Hey, I see you work at Microsoft. I want to get in this. Like, I'm very passionate. Or you probably get these all the time. But, like, I'm trying to be authentic. Like, be funny. Humor always seems to get me a win. You know what I mean? Have a little sense of humor and be like, bro, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I liked your profile and I thought we could connect. Where are you at? You know what I mean? Like, there's no right or wrong answer. I just think, what does Michael Jordan say? You can only miss the shots you don't shoot or something like that. Like, man, take the shot. Like, take it, be yourself, be authentic, and, you know, just go from there. So, because it's a hard question, because I'm like, you're absolutely right. Like, you could be too direct and then get shut off. You could be way indirect and get shut off. I don't know. I also feel like a lot of people get pretty far with asking about what are platforms I should be looking at? Or like, you know, like, how do I progress in training or education? So now here's something I haven't talked about, and I try not to talk about it because it takes up a lot of energy. I have gotten a lot better at VA disability claims, how the process works, especially working in the hospital side. And we have a contract with Veteran Evaluation Services and all that stuff. So also, cool fun fact, the regional VA disability office that does all the rating for everybody on the west side of the United States is here in Sioux Falls. So I actually have a relationship with the raters. So if you're like, Freddie, what's going on with my stuff, or why did I get a rating? I actually can talk to the rater who probably rated your stuff. So, yeah. So if you have questions, I'm not trying to tie up this whole video with that. You have my cell phone number now. Call me. I'll be able to connect you and direct you where you need to go for all that.
Yeah, we posted your LinkedIn as well, so that should have multiple ways to get a hold of you.
Yeah. Yep. And my phone's attached to me. I still act like a recruiter on recruiting duty, so it's my work email still on there. I probably should stop that, but I'm not going to. So, what other questions we got? No.
Anyone?
I got one
Perfect
for you.
Yeah, hit it.
You been West River over to the Black Hills yet?
Oh yeah, I saw the president's faces in their stone glory. It was actually pretty cool. I tell you what, I got hooked on what's it called? Huckleberry licorice. Yeah, it's my new addiction. Thank God it's on the other half of the state. Otherwise, I'd be even fatter than I am now.
Yeah, it's definitely a West River and up in Montana specialty.
Yeah. I'm definitely yeah, no, I found the website on Montana. Once again, I'm trying to not be fatter than I am now. By the way, I hope all of you can stay physically fit. It's an issue. You know what I mean? I have to say no to the sweets. But I'm gonna tell you, for mental health purposes, it's still wonderful to get up at 4 a.m. and push out in the gym and start my day that way. So I highly recommend, if you're doing it, keep it up. If you're not doing it, try to start now, so that way it doesn't even get any worse when you exit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you say you're known for being the connector. Do you have any similar colleagues in the Nebraska area or the North Carolina area?
Well, you got to narrow it down. So here's the thing, and this is something you should probably learn right away. If there's something you want, be pinpointed, especially with me. Freddie, I'm looking for a job in this city or state, and I want to get in IT. Hook it up. All right, Roger that. Let me see who I know. So what are you looking for?
Honestly, I'm kind of the opposite. I keep all my doors open until one sounds the most appealing to me. So to answer that question bluntly, no idea.
Okay. And you might get the bluntly answer of like, you're going to be spinning your gears, because if you're hoping something magically comes across your table, it might not. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping the most perfect job comes across your table and you're living the good life. But based on my knowledge and everybody that's exited after me, that's not always the case, my man.
Oh, for sure. Just trying to maximize connections. That's all. Thank you.
I get it. I do have tons of people in Nebraska. So.
What about Texas, San Antonio?
You can walk into Texas and find a job. They love veterans. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Dallas. Here. No, once again, you all, I have connections everywhere. It's just, you know what, usually my connections are pointed to career fields and stuff like that, or, you know, something along those lines. Or like I have a connection at the Chamber of Commerce, right? Because they have national committees and stuff like that. So I also have, I'm part of the American Legion. I'm not trying to push that on any of you. Choose it wisely if you want to invest your time in there. But they do have a national committee that allows me to stay connected with veterans across the United States. So.
I was going to ask about Dallas, Texas, cloud jobs outside of the big three, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, because as you've been saying and preaching, I'm seeing it from people on LinkedIn saying the same thing with the layoffs and the job instability. So I'm starting to shift gears a little bit into looking at companies that are more so consumers, because they also need cloud support, cloud engineers. Not as much, but you know, I'm still looking into it. And I don't know too much about, you know, the big consumers and how big the demand is in that sector as much. So I was going to ask you who you know, or, you know.
Well, here's my first recommendation. So text me offline so I can remember this conversation. And number two, this is a prime example of what I'm telling you about the Chamber of Commerce. So if you have an idea of where you want to be, like in a vicinity, find the Chamber of Commerce, because every business within that city, the Chamber of Commerce wants to have on basically their committee or their board or their team, right? And they're going to know. So and then that way you can go in there, develop a relationship with somebody that has connection for every, organization and job within the vicinity. And you'd be like, hey, who needs cloud supporting support or who's looking for this? That would be step one. That's how you really grow your actual database of people within this area that you're going to live in. So that would be my recommendation. And then two, text me, and then I will reach out to a few people I know and see what's going on. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to be successful within the IT realm, don't be afraid to look at smaller upcoming jobs or, businesses. They need you. They're not looking to get rid of you within a year. You know what I mean? You're going to be a part of an integrated family, and they're going to be more likely to keep you on staff. Just a recommendation is all.
Okay, got you. What was I gonna ask? But yeah, I already texted you. Jeremy Truba, I already texted you. But yeah,
Perfect.
thank you.
Yeah. What else?
Hello. Do you mind elaborating on the Chamber of Commerce a little bit? Like I see you mentioned becoming a member. Is that like the best way to go about talking to them?
Well, I mean, I was introduced because of my job, so that was how I was done. But if I was you, I would go to usually they have somebody on staff that does like outreach or people connection. I forget the name of the title. Find that person. So you basically Google the Chamber of Commerce within your city. And then on there, we'll give you the list of who's working there. And then one of them is like relations or something like that. Connect with that person and say, hey, I'm new to the area. I'm a veteran. I'm looking to be integrated into the community. I would love to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce. And I'm also looking for a job. And then that person's going to reach out to you and then sell you on the Chamber of Commerce. And then they're going to be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. What is it that you do? And it's basically a personal concierge service of, businesses within your area.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to promote the Chamber of Commerce so everybody knows. It's been a great way to develop relationships. That's all I'm trying to get you to understand is there's outside of the box things that you can do to develop relationships. I'll give you another example. This was because of the Chamber of Commerce, but whatever. I'm part of a breakfast group, and that breakfast group is all CEOs or VPs, and we basically talk about nonsense every Tuesday morning. But they always, hey, I'm looking for, funny enough, they're actually looking for an IT person. There's a company called Silencers. They build silencers here in South Dakota. They're always looking to hire. They want more vets so they can have a veteran background. So like I hear stuff like that because of these breakfast groups and lunch groups that I'm a part of. So I mean, the more people you can get in the business, in the realm, the more your network's going to grow and the more things you're going to hear. Like I hear about jobs all the time now that I'm not looking, right? That's usually how it works. What else we got? If you're in the healthcare field and you're willing to move, I got you. We don't do remote work, just so you know, we're a hospital. And no, we never have any IT positions open. To be honest, they're hired right out of college and they keep everything internal. I'm being honest with you. Dark is somewhere I would look at, DARC. One of the owners is, or actually both the owners are veterans. And one of them is in the Guard and he's a colonel who's a lawyer. What else? Come on, use and abuse me while you can.
All right. We'll offer up any last questions. If not, we'll just give these guys a little break before their next obligation.
I have one more actually.
Oh, there we go.
Do you have any recommendations for places to look to find connections for engineers specifically?
Say that one more. I didn't hear the last part. Sorry.
Do you have a recommendation for where to find connections for like mechanical engineers specifically?
Mechanical engineers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, I mean, you'd be hired no problem. What would I do if I was doing that? Who would I talk to? be honest, in South Dakota, it's pretty easy. I would tell you to go to FISB, which is a massive company out here for mechanical engineers. I don't know. Google's your. I mean, to be honest, I chat GBT that bad boy. I put prompts in that thing and say, hey, I'm in this area and this mile radius. Pull all the businesses within the area that have this job criteria, and cheat code that thing. And then I would take the websites and then I would go find and learn about every single one of those companies. And then I would go on LinkedIn with those companies and see if there's connections I can make. I mean, if you all think that you're just going to meet one person and it's going to give you all the answers to the things you want to do, that's not the way it works. It's effort. You're going to have to put in work. It's like almost a job. You're going to have to put all this effort in, do all this work, hustle your way into making a relationship, and then finding out from there. But use some of the resources. Those AI platforms are fantastic. If you can prompt it correctly, it'll work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Going once. Going twice. Last questions. All right. Well, Freddy, we appreciate you. Have you been through the 7 Eagle program? Because everything you're saying is very in alignment with what we teach.
Yeah, I'm a regular person. No, so I did a lot of presentations for another company. I won't name names. So I've done this quite a bit. But honestly, I'm just telling you what I went through and my struggles and things that helped me be successful. And remember, my job consists of taking care of veterans, young and old. So I stay in the realm of everything.
Awesome, man. We appreciate your time. I'm sure you'll definitely getting some private questions offline from this as well. And yeah, stay in touch and we appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful